All right, let's get into it. We all talk about the cloud, right? We save our photos to it, we stream movies from it, we use apps that, well, they live on it. But if you had to actually explain what it is, could you? Where is it? Is it really up in the sky with the actual clouds? So today, we're gonna pull back the curtain. We're gonna figure out what the cloud really is, piece by piece.
So let's kick things off with a pretty basic question. Where does the internet live? We think of it as this invisible force, everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But everything digital, everything, has to exist somewhere physically. Your photos, your emails, this very explainer, they aren't just floating in the ether. So, where are they?
To answer that, we've got to start with the cloud's physical home. We're going to begin with the actual, tangible, real-world building blocks that make this whole thing possible.
And here it is, the first big reveal. The cloud lives on the ground. It lives inside these massive, super secure buildings called data centers. There are literally thousands of these facilities all over the planet, and they are the physical heart of the internet. It's not magic, folks. It's just really, really impressive infrastructure. So, what's inside these giant buildings? They are packed, and I mean packed, with thousands of these things, servers. Now, a server is just a really powerful specialized computer. Think of your home PC, but without a screen or a keyboard. It's designed to do one thing and one thing only: serve up resources like a website or a file to other computers.
And to really get what a server is, let's just break it down to basics. Just like any computer, a server is made of hardware. The physical parts you can actually touch. We're talking about processors, memory chips, hard drives. It's all real stuff that you could hold in your hand.
And what tells all that physical hardware what to do? Well, that would be software. Software is the set of instructions, the code that runs everything. If the hardware is the body, the software is the brain. It's the intelligence that brings the whole machine to life.
Okay, so we've got these data centers, and they're jam-packed with servers running software. But how do we, on our phones and our laptops, actually connect to them? Well, that brings us to something called the client-server connection.
The entire internet, and I mean pretty much all of it, runs on this one simple idea: the client-server model. It's basically a constant conversation. Your device, your phone, your laptop, that's the client. It sends out a request, and somewhere in a data center, a server hears that request and sends a response back. Every single time you click a link, you're kicking off this exact conversation.
And this diagram here shows you the whole process perfectly. Over on the left, that's you on your device, the client. You send a request out over the internet. That request travels, finds the right server in the right data center, and boom, the server sends the data you wanted, like a web page or a video, right back to you. This is happening millions of times a second all across the globe.
All right, we now have all the individual pieces on the table. We've got data centers, servers, hardware, software, and the whole client-server thing. So I think it's time. Let's put them all together and finally answer the big question.
And here it is. The cloud is simply a huge distributed collection of all those servers sitting in all those data centers that we can get to over the internet. That's it. It's not one single place or one single thing. It's a massive interconnected network of computers all ready and waiting to serve our requests. So the most important thing to remember is this: the cloud isn't some abstract concept. It's a physical network of real computers.
Now, knowing what the cloud is, that's one thing. But what makes it so revolutionary is what you can do with it. And this brings us to the whole idea of cloud computing. So cloud computing is basically the service of using the cloud. It's the way all those computing resources, the raw power of those servers, the massive storage, the complex software, gets delivered directly to you and me over the internet.
And you know what? This is honestly the best way to think about it. Instead of a company having to buy and maintain its own super expensive servers in-house, they can just rent access to incredibly powerful servers in someone else's data center. It's basically pay-as-you-go computing power. It's a total game changer.
And what exactly can you rent? Pretty much everything you'd ever need to run a modern digital business. You can rent virtual servers, huge amounts of data storage, powerful databases, networking tools, ready-to-go software, and even things like data analytics and artificial intelligence services. It's like having an entire IT department available on demand.
Now, when we talk about renting storage, it's good to know there are two main types of data. First, you have structured data. This stuff is super organized. Think of a perfect spreadsheet with neat rows and columns. And then you have unstructured data, which is, well, it's everything else. All your photos, videos, emails, and documents. The cloud has amazing tools to store and manage both kinds.
So I know this can all still feel a bit abstract. Let's ground it in a real-world example that millions of businesses rely on every single day.
You've probably heard of Microsoft Azure. It's one of the absolute biggest cloud computing platforms in the world, and it's a perfect example of what we've been talking about. Microsoft built these colossal data centers, and now they rent out access to their servers, their storage, their software, the whole shebang. Fun fact, it used to be called Windows Azure. So when you hear a company say they're moving to Azure, it just means they're starting to rent their computing power from Microsoft's cloud.
So, we've come full circle. The cloud isn't some magical mist up in the atmosphere. It's a very real, very physical collection of powerful computers sitting in buildings connected to the whole world. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Now that we know our digital world is completely tied to physical infrastructure, what does that mean for the future of things like energy consumption, data privacy, and the very structure of the internet itself? Something to think about.